Hello dreamers, and welcome to the Sleepy Scholar, the podcast that helps you learn in your dreams. I'm Debbie, and tonight, as we traverse the serene landscape of sleep, I invite you to join me on a journey through the mists of history, guided by the legendary tale of Maeve, the Warrior Queen of Connacht. I know what it feels like to be wide awake when the world is asleep. Your mind a whirlpool of thoughts and worries. It's tough, isn't it? But remember, you're not alone in this. We're in this together, you and I. So let's take a deep breath and let go of those worries just for tonight. If you enjoy our time together, consider subscribing to the podcast. It's free, and it means you'll always have a story to help you find peace at the end of the day. Your support means the world to me, and it's what allows me to keep spinning these tales for you. Now, let's prepare for our journey. Close your eyes and transport yourself to a lush, ancient forest. The air is cool and fresh, filled with the invigorating scent of pine and rich, damp earth. As you take deep breaths, allow the pure forest air to cleanse your body and mind, washing away any lingering stress or tension. With each exhale, feel your worries dissipate into the ground beneath your feet, leaving you feeling light and free. Envision the forest surrounding you in all its grandeur. Towering trees stand tall and proud, their branches swaying gently in the wind. Listen closely, and you can hear the soft rustling of leaves as they share secrets with one another. Beneath your feet, the solid earth provides a stable foundation, grounding you and connecting you to the natural world around you. In this tranquil setting, you are safe and protected within nature's embrace. Let yourself bask in the serenity of this magical forest, allowing its peaceful energy to envelop you and soothe your soul. Rest your tired body and let the story of Queen Medb guide you into the realm of sleep. Remember, no matter what, you are not alone. We're on this journey together. Now, let's begin. Welcome, dear dreamer, to the mystical realm of ancient Ireland, a land of rolling green hills, misty valleys, and legends as old as the earth itself. As the last light of day fades, let the soft lullaby of the wind carry you back in time to an era of kings and queens, of valor and treachery, of love and war. Fado, Fado, in the rugged wilds of Connacht, a kingdom of primal beauty, reigned a queen of unmatched cunning and fortitude. Her name was Maeve, the golden-tressed warrior queen. Her beauty was so hypnotic, so spellbinding, it was said to leech men of 2/3 of their courage by merely glimpsing her. Her hair, the colour of ripe wheat under the summer sun, cascaded down her shoulders, framing a face of fierce beauty. Her eyes, as blue as the deepest ocean, held a gaze that could command the tides themselves. Her presence was a symphony of power and allure that left none untouched. Queen Medb presided over the magnificent royal site of An Cruachan, where stone met wood, fire embraced water, and power danced with diplomacy. Amidst her court's grandeur, she spun intricate strategies like a master weaver, her mind as keen as the sword of the realm's most formidable warrior. Her constant plotting was as much a part of her as breath itself. At her side stood King Ailill Mac Mórta, a paragon of strength and wisdom, perfectly suited to match Maeve's intimidating prowess. Their rule over Connacht was an unyielding grip smelted from their collective cunning and might. Maeve, resplendent in a gown of vibrant red threads and adorned with jingling jewellery, stood tall and unshakable next to yet another king. This time it was Ailill Mac Mórta, her latest husband and rival. As the night settled in around them and they lay in bed together, their conversation took a tense turn. Without thinking, Ailill made a subtle jab at the size of Maeve's fortune, an offhand comment that lit a spark of conflict within her. Maeve had always been proud to flaunt her wealth as the daughter of the High King. But Ailill's insinuation that his riches may surpass hers was a threat she couldn't ignore. With a fierce determination to prove her own wealth equal, if not greater than his, they summoned their servants to lay bare the extent of their riches. The castle halls transformed into a sparkling sea of treasures. Rings that glittered like morning dewdrops on a spider's web. Gold that radiated like the last rays of the setting sun. Garments that rivaled the vibrant colours of a rainbow. And beasts that paraded with a regal grace reminiscent of golden gorse fields in full bloom. Yet amidst this ocean of riches, one gem shone brighter than all the rest. Ailill's prized bull, Finnbhennach. His pure white horns curved majestically like the moon over the rolling hills of Ireland, and his lineage was steeped in legend and history, a lineage that spoke of power, nobility, and an unbroken line stretching back into the mists of time. Maeve's heart swelled with a mixture of admiration and envy for the magnificent beast, who stood as a living testament to Ailill's boundless fortune. The sight of this magnificent bull was a thorn in Maeve's side. She was determined to procure an animal that could rival its splendour. No, she would have something even better. Don Cooley, the brown bull of Cooley. The most famous stud bull in all the land. With this prized possession by her side, her status and wealth would surpass even Ailill's. And how fitting that it was she would take it from her rival and former husband, King Conor mac Nessa of Ulster. Her plan was bold, but she was determined to make it succeed. Conor, the towering and imposing King of Ulster, sat upon his throne with a stern expression. For months he had sensed the simmering rage within Maeve, a brewing storm of vengeance. He could feel it in his bones, the pulsing intensity of her desire for revenge. The thought of facing her wrath made him shudder, yet he couldn't help but admire her cunning and intellect as she plotted her payback. She was a force to be reckoned with, a dangerous predator ready to strike at any moment. And he knew that when she finally unleashed her plan, it would be calculated and merciless. He braced himself for the inevitable storm that was about to break loose. Their once harmonious relationship had crumbled into a ruthless game of power and one-upmanship. Conor's coveted brown bull was not only a display of his wealth and status, but also a testament to his prowess as a leader. Maeve viewed it as a chance to gain the upper hand in their never-ending conflict. determined to prove her superiority not just over Connacht, but also over her own husband, Ailill. Every day she schemed and plotted, consumed by an insatiable hunger for dominance and control. Her plan was not just bold, it was reckless and dangerous. To steal the prized bull from under Connacht's watchful eye and to parade it back to her kingdom as a sign of victory would require more than bravery. It would demand a tactical precision and a devoted army willing to risk their lives for their queen. And Maeve was hell-bent on success, willing to betray her former lover and husband if necessary, in order to claim the ultimate prize. The boggy, rocky countryside of Connacht echoed with the words of a prophecy. Scáthach, a prophetess with eyes clouded by visions, foretold doom for Queen Medb and her kingdom. But the queen, consumed by ambition and lust for power, scoffed at the warning. She believed in her own strength, in her own unbreakable will. Queen Medb was not one to cower in the face of fate's whispers. Instead, she saw the prophecy as a challenge, an obstacle to be overcome with her sheer determination and cunning mind. The words of Scáthach only fueled the fires of her ambition, pushing her to prove the seer wrong. And so, the fair-haired queen used her iron will and sharp mind to gather a formidable army. Her call to arms echoed through the hills and valleys of Connacht, reaching only the bravest and most loyal warriors. Legends about her beauty, leadership, and unyielding determination spread far and wide, inspiring men to dedicate their lives to her cause. She was a beacon, a golden-haired queen leading her troops with an undeniable resolve and a keen intellect. Her allure was as persuasive as her military cunning. With just one smouldering look or well-chosen words, she could sway men's hearts. With lavish promises and generous rewards, she ensured their loyalty. To fight for Maeve was a chance for glory, honour, and the thrill of battle. As the mighty Connacht forces advanced, the weathered landscape unfurled before them. Craggy hills and silent bogs gave way to boundless forests and clearings where cattle grazed, oblivious to the coming strife. The air hummed with anticipation, tension, almost palpable as the warriors steeled themselves for combat. Their horses' hooves pounded the earth in martial rhythm, echoing the pulsing of their hearts. This was no mere mustering of soldiers, but a display of Maeve's magnetism and nerve. It was a spectacle of might as they marched towards destiny. As the mighty army of Maeve descended upon them, the renowned warriors of Ulster stood ready for battle. Their muscles rippled under their armour, and their gazes were fierce and determined. But as soon as the enemy was within reach, a dark curse befell them, the infamous curse of Macha. Without warning or explanation, their bodies were seized by a crippling weakness. The once lively training grounds now lay still and deserted, except for the laboured breaths of the stricken warriors. And so it would continue for 5 long days and 4 sleepless nights, just as the prophetess had foretold. Every hour dragged on like an eternity, every moment a struggle against their own failing bodies. As desolation threatened to consume them, a lone champion emerged, Cooley, Ulster's youthful hero. Blessed with divine blood, he stood tall and strong amidst his cursed comrades, a solitary defender against the invading forces of Connacht. With hair aflame like wildfire, eyes blazing with grit, Cuchulainn fearlessly confronted the invaders. His spear was like an extension of his body, dancing through the air and striking down his foes with deadly precision. Each day he fought with savage courage, his name a hallowed prayer upon his people's lips. But even as he valiantly battled on, his heart heavy with the weight of his comrade's curse, Cuchulainn did not falter in his duty. And though he may have stood alone, he was never truly without allies. For in the hearts of all who witnessed his bravery, he was a shining symbol of hope and resilience. As the hero's relentless attacks decimated Maeve's troops, only one figure remained standing: Ferdia, Cuchulainn's foster brother and closest companion. Yet now they stood as enemies on opposite ends of the battlefield, their once unbreakable bond tested by fierce allegiance to their opposing sides. Despite being forced into exile and fighting against his brother-in-arms, Ferdia refused to back down, his fighting prowess rivaling that of Cuchulainn himself. As they clashed in battle, a part of them both struggled with conflicting emotions, torn between duty and loyalty and the memories of their shared past. The sound of their battle was a deafening symphony of war echoing across the blood-stained fields. The two warriors moved with lethal grace, locked in a deadly dance. Every strike was carefully calculated and precise, part of a choreographed ritual of destruction. The earth itself was their stage, littered with the fallen bodies of their comrades. The coppery scent of blood hung heavy in the air like a haunting melody that followed their every move. But this was more than just a savage clash. It was a performance of strength and bravery, a masterpiece to be remembered for generations. Each blow they exchange held deeper meaning, symbolic expressions of the inner turmoil raging within them. And as they parried and countered, each swift movement spoke volumes about their skill and experience, gained through years of training and countless battles. Day after grisly day their battle raged, driven by primal fury and a bottomless well of vengeance. Each punishing strike landed with bone-shattering force, leaving their bodies bruised and mangled, marred by deep gashes. Still, they fought on, consumed by obligations and the tragic schism of their once unbreakable friendship. After 3 long days of fighting, Cuchulainn emerged as the ultimate victor. His once strong and proud body now bore bruises and wounds from countless battles, a reminder of the lives lost in this war. As he looked out at the destruction around him, a sense of guilt settled heavy on his heart. The Ulster army may have been freed from the curse that plagued them, but at what cost? Despite this thought, the triumphant cries of victory echoed through the valleys with such force that any doubts or regrets were drowned out. The once beautiful landscape was now marred by destruction and death, a stark contrast to the peaceful and idyllic land it had been before. But as they searched for survivors and tended to their wounded, a new realization dawned on them. The ultimate prize that had sparked this entire conflict, the brown bull known as Dun Cooley, was in Connacht's possession. In the midst of the chaotic and turbulent storm of the battle, Maeve's cunning and greed had swept in like a raven, snatching the ultimate prize and leaving a trail of destruction and despair in her wake. Maeve's grip tightened on the rope that bound the massive brown bull to her chariot. She drove it forward, teeth gritted in determination, as it dragged the snarling and bucking animal towards her husband's prized bull, Finbenach. The two beasts locked eyes and bellowed, steam rising from their flared nostrils. The ground trembled as they charged at each other, horns poised to strike with bone-crushing force. Their battle was relentless and savage. For days they struggled, bodies straining, roars resounding across the land. The soil churned to mud, slick with sweat and blood. Still, neither yielded, spirits unbroken as iron. The brown bull of Cooley let out a triumphant bellow as it charged towards its opponent, its muscles rippling under its sleek brown hide. The white-horned bull braced itself, but it was no match for the ferocious strength of the brown bull. Its horns dug deep into the white beast's side, causing it to stumble and fall to the ground. With a fierce determination, the brown bull continued to gore at its rival until it lay still and lifeless on the grassy battlefield. The brown bull stood proudly over its fallen foe, panting heavily from the intense fight. Despite its own wounds and exhaustion, it lifted the mangled remains of the white-horned bull on its horns, a grisly display of dominance. The brown bull's victory was more than just a feat of savagery. It symbolized the unconquerable soul of Ulster, the grit and tenacity of its people. Though ravaged by war, they had reclaimed their pride. As the brown bull stood triumphant, this was a profound tribute not just to its glory, but to the collective honour of Ulster, a testament to their unrelenting valour and bravery. The landscape still bore scars of the brutal battle, yet a new dawn emerged, one of peace forged from blood and fire. The air hung heavy with smoke and sweat, but also relief and fulfillment. This hard-won peace testified to the courage and resilience of the people, and above all, their champion Cuchulainn. His legendary exploits would live on in song and story, passed down through generations. As he stood surrounded by his people, battered but unbroken, the sunlight crowned him in radiance. This was not just the end of the war, but a beginning of a new era for Ulster. As Maeve stood there, lost in contemplation, a soft breeze carried the sound of distant thunder. The sky above darkened, heavy with brooding storm clouds that mirrored the tempest within Maeve's heart. In that moment of solitude amidst chaos and desolation, she knew she had lost everything. The brown bull of Cooley, the symbol of her power and the reason for their relentless pursuit, was now reclaimed by her enemy. The bloodbath that ensued had cost her more than she could bear. the lives of countless Connacht warriors, the trust of her people, and her own sense of self. She finally understood the futility of her greed and ambition, and it weighed heavily upon her. As the sky opened up and rain began to pour, Maeve's tears mirrored the droplets cascading down her face. She knew that the battle was not only fought for the bull, but also for the pride and honour of her people. As she looked upon the fallen warriors from both sides, she realised that she had lost more than just a bull. Maeve turned towards her husband Alil. He stood silently by her side, his expression sombre. They both knew that they could never return to the life they once knew. The once great kingdom of Connacht was now scarred and broken like their own hearts. Centuries have passed since the epic tale of Queen Medb's cattle raid, but its legacy lives on. The once great warrior queen, driven by ambition and greed, met her downfall in the harsh landscape of ancient Ireland. Her story is a cautionary tale, warning that victory gained through ruthlessness often bears a heavy price. Her story became a legend, passed down from mother to daughter, from father to son, as a warning against the perils of unchecked ambition. For even though she had conquered vast lands and amassed great wealth, Maeve's ultimate downfall came from within herself. Her ruthless pursuit of power had blinded her to the needs and desires of her own people. She had become consumed by her own ego and lost sight of what truly mattered: the well-being and happiness of those she ruled over. And so when it came time for her to face defeat, she found herself alone with nothing but regrets. As we reflect on her legacy today, we are reminded that no prize is worth the sacrifice. The tales may speak of Maeve's bravery and strength on the battlefield, but they also serve as a reminder that glory and power are ephemeral. They are fleeting illusions that can disappear in an instant. Some say that Maeve's spirit still lingers in these abandoned lands, haunting those who dare to tread upon it out of curiosity or greed. But others believe that her legacy serves as a timeless admonition to live with wisdom, empathy, and honour. For as long as stories are told and legends are remembered, the name of Queen Medb will never truly die. Thank you for tuning in to the Sleepy Scholar tonight. As you drift off now into a peaceful sleep, let the lessons from Irish mythology gently lull you into magical dreams. Iho agus Colasov. Good night and sleep well.